This is a special edition of Late Night Health. I'm Mark Allen. We're going to take a look at the coronavirus with a good friend of ours, Dr. Earl Mindell, the author of the Vitamin Bible, amongst other things. Let's first take a look at Dr. Mindell's credentials. He's a nutritionist, a master herbalist, and the author of over 60 books on health.
Mark, and you forgot to mention I'm also a pharmacist as well, so I know both sides of the coin, in the sense that yes, we do need pharmaceutical help, but no one ever talks about what you could do on a daily basis to bolster your immune system.
Can we really boost our immune system against the coronavirus?
Well, we absolutely can. It doesn't matter what it is, Mark. Let's go back in history a little bit. December 7th, 1941, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. All of a sudden, we had to convert all our factories over to making planes, bombs, tanks, guns, whatever else it was. So the government told all the workers, who were mostly women at the time, that they're going to give them a plot of land where they can grow fresh vegetables and fruit.
The Victory Garden, right.
What people don't know is the government also provided a vitamin mineral formula to all workers called Vitamins for Victory, because they knew that if they gave the workers a vitamin mineral formula, they would be more efficient at work and get less sick. Simple as that. Now, 82 years later, when we're eating our Twinkie, Ding Dong, Donut, Pizza, Prozac, Pepsi, potato chip, pretzel diet, it's more important than ever before. So what we can do to bolster our immune system, of course, is take an all-natural vitamin mineral supplement every day. Vitamin C, which has been known for hundreds of years. In fact, that's why the Brits are called limeys, because back in the 1700s and 1800s, whatever, when they went on these long trips by a sailing ship, the sailors would get scurvy because they didn't get enough vitamin C.
And that's why British sailors were called limeys at the time.
Right, because they gave them lime juice, and that, of course, was a source of vitamin C. So vitamin C, you see, has antiviral effects. Why don't people know that? They don't want you to know that. Well, I do. I talked about it in my book, The Vitamin Bible, forever. And about 500 milligrams is a good amount to take on a daily basis, or twice a day. And if you have anything happening, I tell people to take it every hour for 4 or 5 doses. And then the Japanese, they're way ahead of us when it comes to bolstering the immune system. In their diet, reishi, maitake, and shiitake mushrooms are a standard part of their diet. These mushrooms definitely have anti-infective properties. And
all right, let's talk about something, Earl. First of all, I did not introduce you properly. You're the author of course, the Vitamin Bible. I believe I was the first one to talk with you about that.
Yes.
Right, like 40 some odd, more than 40 years ago, but we won't go there.
40 years anyway.
A good 40 years anyway. But let's talk about, and you've written 60 other books as well. I know I saw you recently. You have a book out on CBD, and you're on the cutting edge. Let's just talk about your background. You're a pharmacist, and then you have a doctorate in
nutrition, also a master herbalist as well.
Oh, okay, good. So you know what you're talking about. Has the traditional medical community taken, woken up and said, hey, take vitamins? Or are they still... No, not at all. In fact, it's unfortunate that if you talk to any physician, they'll tell you they got no nutritional training in medical school. It's not part of the curricula. And unfortunately, they are, it's not their fault, but they're brainwashed into thinking of drugs and things like that to treat symptoms. So the establishment is telling you, wash your hands, which is absolutely correct. Elbow
bump, don't shake hands.
Fist bumps and things like that, shoulder bumps. Don't
right.
No skin-to-skin contact is what we're saying.
Keep 3 to 6 feet away from the average person. Don't go in the crowds. But no one is telling you what you can do on a daily basis to bolster your immune system. And there's more things too that we can talk about that you can do. And they're so simple that and they've been known forever. For instance, zinc in a lozenge form. That's something you dissolve in the mouth.
It's like a cough drop, something like that.
Exactly. You just dissolve it in the mouth, and it helps to ward off any incoming type of organism. You see, the body's immune system is your first line of defense. We're at war here. We're at war with organisms, not just the viruses, but all kinds of organisms. So you want to have more good guys, more soldiers that are on your side than the bad guys, and that's how you do it. You bolster your immune system, and that's the reason we have a fever. People say, "Oh, I have a fever." Well, that's because the body is ramping up its metabolism to produce more of the so-called T cells, which are the killer cells to try to combat the incoming organisms.
Earl, let me ask you: does heat destroy viruses, and for that matter, bacteria? In other words, our temperature is 98.6, or that's what we've thought for years, and apparently new research could be even lower or higher, okay?
Right.
But what I'm interested in is, does that fever, is our body creating that fever to kill off the virus? Is that the purpose of it?
Yes, the body is increasing the metabolism rate, so the temperature goes up, and it produces these so-called T cells, which are the killer cells that combat the bad guys. Let's look at it this way: it's the good guys and the bad guys, and you want to have more good guys in your body than the bad guys. And of course, a lot of people now are starting to realize that a healthy gut, healthy person. So to keep your gastrointestinal tract healthy, you need lactobacillus, acidophilus. These are the friendly bacteria. Now people are hearing more and more about this because through yogurt, etc. But that's not enough. You need to take a supplement. I take one that has 8 billion different lactobacillus type of probiotics. Probiotics pro-health. So that's another thing that's important. Then there's antioxidants, and I think people are hearing more about that too.
Well, vitamin C is an antioxidant. You mentioned that it started.
Vitamin C is an antioxidant as well, but there are other antioxidants, such as grapeseed extract, such as echinacea, and it's an herb. And the Israelis are great when it comes to research with elderberry for symptoms of flus and colds, etc. And good old odorless garlic. Oh my goodness. It was once called Russian penicillin. I'm not talking about regular garlic because it's true. It's an anti-infective, but you don't have any friends.
Yes.
That's not so bad.
Well, actually, right now, maybe that's a good thing to do, is to eat raw garlic. What about vitamin D?
Well, that's the next one. We're going down the list here. I take a vitamin D3. It's very important to get D3. That's the natural form of vitamin D, 5,000 IUs a day, because vitamin D is one of the best things to help with your immune system. The problem with vitamin D is it can take a whole year before it builds up enough in your system. So if you took a capsule today, we wouldn't see maybe a difference for 6 or 8 months. But if you do it on a regular basis, you'll find you'll get a lot less all kinds of infections.
What about exercise, Earl? Is that an important aspect? I've been going to the gym. Yes, folks, I finally have committed to the gym, and
now you can't go.
Now I was there on Saturday. I was there for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I love sitting in the jacuzzi, the hot tub after I work out, and then going into the steam room, and I just decided I couldn't do it. I got queasy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, exercise, getting out in the fresh air. fresh air has a thing called loaded with negative ions. I have a whole book on that called the happiness effect. See, negative ions help just general health. It's the same thing with waterfalls and waves and lightning. But we need to understand that most of us are living in a very controlled environment. Very few people go outside for any period of time, and they don't. People say, "Well, I can make vitamin D from the sunshine." Right, but how many minutes are you outside? And people who go outside for a suntan, they slather on this suntan screen, which prevents the production of vitamin D from cholesterol.
And what happens also is that we're having a very strange weather pattern here in Southern California, where Late Night Health is based, and in the Los Angeles area. And what happens is that it's, we don't have any sun right now. We're going to have a week, folks, of rain here in Southern California. And I think they have a storm watch where I am in Ventura County.
Well, let me say this. The majority of people in the country live in colder climates where even though it might be sunny, they don't go out that much. So, here's a great story. I was brought up in Canada, in Western Canada, where it gets very cold in the winter. My mother would always give us, my sister and I, a spoonful of fish liver oil. Oh my God, it was horrible tasting. And we'd run to school faster because they knew it was a source of vitamin A and vitamin D. We didn't talk about vitamin A yet, but beta carotene, which is a provitamin A, is something that we should be taking on a daily basis. So they knew 100 years ago, 150 years ago, that these were anti-infective supplements that helped with your immune system. Why don't we know that today? All we know is antibiotics and drugs that have horrendous side effects over a period of time. These nutrients, these supplements, have what I call side benefits. Not side effects, but side benefits. Otherwise, they keep our body optimally healthy. Not just, I don't feel too great, I'm not sick. I want you to be optimally healthy.
Let's talk about the virus itself. Realizing that you're not a medical doctor, but you are a doctor. You have studied nutrition. Is this particular virus more virulent? Is it a stronger virus and more contagious? Which is why they're keeping us, asking us to stay away from groups of people.
Well, actually, it's kind of a weird one, to tell you the truth. When a droplet, it's basically transmitted by droplets. When someone sneezes or coughs, little droplets of moisture come out. So if you're near someone closer than 3 feet or 6 feet, it can land on your face, and you touch your face, and then touch your mouth. That's how it's transmitted. But through the air. But another way is that these droplets can actually find their way onto inanimate objects like a tabletop, anything. And if you touch that, and they can last up to 2 days on that surface. So if you touch that, by the way, when you're washing your hands, the fingertips are the most important things. Make sure you scrub your fingertips, because that's how it's transmitted when you touch an inanimate object.
And it can last up to 48 hours? I've heard even up to 72 hours, too.
Well, they're saying 40, it could be 72, but here's another frightening statistic. Children, we know that children can have this virus, but they don't have any side effects. The virus could stay in a child's body up to 22 days.
Is that before it manifests as?
No, it manifests in the body, but it doesn't. They don't have the symptoms. Otherwise, they can be contagious for 22 days. They can pass on or transmit the virus for that amount of time.
What about seniors and older people, say 40 plus, 50 plus?
Well, listen, if you have any type of condition, especially a breathing lung condition, you are more susceptible to this virus in the sense that it could kill you. There's no doubt about it. And interesting that in China, 52% of the Chinese men are smokers. So naturally, they are more susceptible to breathing and lung problems. That's why they think that the death rate was so high in China.
Earl, hold on just a second here. I need to do two things, and I need you to stay on the line for me, okay? So let me do this. This is a special edition of Late Night Health, and we're going to be talking with Dr. Earl Mindell, author of the Vitamin Bible, as well as many other books on health. Dr. Mindell is a pharmacist. He has a degree in nutrition and a doctorate. And Earl, what is your doctorate in again?
It's a PhD in nutrition, and I'm a master herbalist.
And a master herbalist. And we're going to be talking to him today about the coronavirus. We present this as an opportunity for you to learn about different things that traditional healthcare practitioners may or may not present. And the opportunity here is for you to make a decision. Follow traditional or follow what I'll call alternative health. Let's get into our conversation.
Well, actually, that's not quite true, Mark. I'm not against the tradition. I'm saying this is an adjunct. Of course, wash your hands, scrub, and keep away. But why not take something that can help to bolster your immune system as well? Now, there was actually two of the candidates for the Democrat Party had a debate, and they never said anything about except the so-called the five things. So why don't we wake up to the fact that you as an individual can do something to better your health on a daily basis, not just for the virus, but for everything. I mean, it's so obvious to me that we should be taking as good care of ourselves as we do our dogs, cats, automobiles, rose bushes, and front lawns. If you think about it, the dog and cat foods are the finest proteins. I don't see too many dogs smoking a cigarette or drinking alcohol, do you?
Absolutely not. And of course, people want that green lawn in the front of their house. All right, our guest has been Dr. Earl Mindell. He's been a good friend of Late Night Health and mine for many, many years. Earl, your website is?
DrEarlMindell.com. You can become a Facebook friend of mine. I do blogs, keep people right up to date.
Gotcha. Go to DrEarlMindell.com. All right, this is a special edition of Late Night Health talking about the coronavirus. We have more coming up this week, so be sure to look for us at LateNightHealth.com.